Let's head to a small southern town for a little TV horror film. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's doing well out there. And since we are, in my eyes, into the Halloween season now, and I've been doing the Friday 13th franchise and Deep Star 6, we are on to another horror film. Although I do got Freddy vs. Jason coming up on Friday, so stick around for that. But today we're going to talk about Dark Night of the Scarecrow. This is a TV film it aired on CBS October 24th of 1981. It's an hour and 36 minutes long, and it was directed by Frank D. Falletta. And we got a cool little cast here. Charles Durning plays Hazelrig. He's the postman of this little southern town. We got Tanya Crow as Mary Lee. She's this 10-year-old girl who plays with Bubba, this adult man who has the mentality of a small child. And Bubba is played by the late, great Larry Drake. And Bubba has a mental disability that he has the mentality of a small child. But him and Mary Lee are really good friends and love each other on a friend level. And some people in town don't like that, which is what drives the plot forward. We'll get into it in a second. And Jocelyn Brando, yes, Marlon Brando's sister, plays Mrs. Ritter, or Bubba's mother. Now, a script for this film had been around for a little bit. The writer had written it several years earlier and tried to get it made as a theatrical. And then he was trying to pitch it to CBS. CBS turned him down once before, and then finally they said yes, and they got the ball rolling. Now, this does take place in a southern small town, and they shot this film in 17 days. Yes, 17 days. And this film is a very simple TV film. Back then, there was a lot of TV films made. As a matter of fact, a couple years before this, we had the great Salem's Lot miniseries directed by Tobe Hooper, which I love that film. And there's another really good little thriller horror film from the 70s called Bad Ronald. If you've never seen that film, track it down. I did a review for that a while ago. Matter of fact, I did a review for this a few years ago too. I'm kind of revisiting it because I really love this film and I don't think it gets talked about enough. There is a Blu-ray available for this film on Amazon. I have the Blu-ray right there, so I watched it last night. You can get it for I think I saw it on sale for $13.99. It definitely has a nice transfer, and there's a cool documentary about the making of the film on there. And besides the actors that I already mentioned, there's a lot of great character actors that you'll recognize from other films and other TV shows definitely in this film. So they definitely have a great cast and it's very well directed, but the plot of the film is Bubba plays all the time with Mary Lee. He loves Mary Lee as a friend and Mary Lee loves him as a friend. And this grates Hazelrig and his three friends in this town. They do not like Bubba playing with her at all, even though it doesn't seem to bother her parents. And they inject themselves into the situation, kind of, as it were. We see Bubba and Mary Lee out playing in this field, and Bubba's walking Mary Lee home, and they walk by this yard, this nice courtyard area she wants to go in. And she kind of gets through the fence, and Bubba's like, no, 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 no. And the person who lives there's dog's out and attacks Mary Lee. And right away, Hazelrig, there's an alert from the police officers in town saying that they're looking for Mary Lee and Bubba because they think Bubba did something to her, which is the fear of all these gentlemen in town. But these guys aren't really great guys. Although Hazelrig definitely is not a good guy. We'll talk about that. And they basically go out, grab their guns, and go out for a lynch mob after Bubba. Now, in the meantime, they don't know this yet, but Bubba saved Mary Lee and took her home, and she's at the hospital recovering from her wounds. They hunt Bubba down in this cornfield, and Bubba has hid inside this scarecrow in the field. And basically, they shoot him until he's dead. And then they get the radio call letting them know that Bubba actually saved Mary Lee and that everything is fine and the search has been called off. And Hazelrig sets it up that Bubba tried to attack them, and they go to court, and these gentlemen get off. But Bubba's mom basically has a meltdown right there in the courtroom saying, there's more justice than just the law. You'll see, you'll get years, some proximity to that. And right away, weird things start happening. This scarecrow shows up in the farmer's field, one of the gentlemen who helped Hazelrig kill Bubba in cold blood. And he's kind of freaked out about it. He thinks his friends are playing a game on him, and it's not them. And then he goes home drunk one night, and he's in the barn because his machinery starts up, and he goes and he thinks the local district attorney's messing with him, because the local district attorney basically told these gentlemen that I am coming for you. I know you killed this guy in cold blood, and I'm going to put you away one way or another. And this gentleman ends up falling into his equipment and getting killed. Now, everybody thinks it's an accident at first, but these guys think it might be the DA or somebody else playing tricks on them, trying to make it think something's going on. And it's Halloween time, and there's a Halloween dance coming up. And Hazelrig goes and kind of confronts Mary Lee, because Mary Lee tells him that Bubba's back, that Bubba wants revenge, and you know, kind of around that proximity. And Hazelrig gets accused by Bubba's mom. See, this movie's a very simple story, but there's some subtle things that get brought up. They don't elaborate on this, but Hazelrig goes to Bubba's mom's house to deliver the mail because he's the postman, and he kind of confronts her. He thinks she might be messing with him and his friends, and she's like, "Don't you stay away from Mary Lee? Don't you think I don't see how you look at her? I know all about you, and people in this town talk." They don't say it, but she's almost alluding to that he might have had problems in the past with being a pedophile, kind of. They don't go into it, but there is that subtle accusation that lays the groundwork for, because Hazelrig is a postman, but he lives in this boarding house. They say about how he doesn't drink anymore, so it seems like he may have had issues in the past. They don't go into it, but subtly they let you in on some of the comings and goings of some of these characters. Another character gets killed in a pretty cool scene. These are not gory kills. The most blood you see is when they shoot Bubba. They show some of the bullet after effects of the bullet hits, but that's about it. This is a TV movie, so they don't show a whole lot. And basically at the end, we're down to two people left. It's Hazelrig and this mechanic guy, and Hazelrig kills him because he's coming unglued and wants to go to the sheriff. And Hazelrig bats him over the head with the shovel and buries him in Bubba's grave because they dig it up to make sure it's not Bubba, or if Bubba's still there. And then basically Hazelrig chases Mary Lee into this field, and this farm equipment turns on, comes towards him, and Hazelrig's trying to get away from it, and when you know, he runs right into the pitchfork being held by the same Scarecrow Bubba hid inside earlier in the film when he got executed. And that is basically, well, the end of the film shows the Scarecrow come to life and hand Mary Lee a flower, and they kind of walk off into the field. Now during the film, they do set it up where it could be a whodunit, where somebody might be messing with them, or it could be supernatural. They kind of keep it on the down low until the end of the film, where the more things start happening and weird things are going on, you kind of figure it's supernatural and Bubba's back for revenge, which he is. And Hazelrig is thought of really highly in this town, which I don't understand because he's a complete scumbag. And he projects himself as a good guy, but this man's not a good man at any stretch of the imagination. Matter of fact, before the last act, he kills Bubba's mother. He gives her a heart attack by startling her, and he blows the house up with gas to make it look like she left the gas on while she had the fireplace on. So he's not a very good guy, and he doesn't own up to anything, any of the bad things that he does. He's trying to get away with it if he can, and at the end he gets what he deserves when he gets killed by the Scarecrow at the end, rightfully so. And all of his cohorts, the other three gentlemen, get killed as well, although one dies at Hazelrig's hands because Hazelrig's trying to cover this hole up because he doesn't want to get arrested and go to prison, which I have a feeling he probably was there at some point in the past. But this is a very well done film. There's a lot of great atmosphere here. It feels like Halloween. The acting is top notch, especially for a TV film. I mean, there's some really good. Charles Durning's great in this film. Larry Drake's awesome. The little girl is really good. Sometimes kids can not be very good, but she is very good in this film for sure. It's just a fun TV film. If you're looking for gore, this does not have it, but it does have suspense, it has atmosphere, it has great acting, and an intriguing story. So if that is enough for you and a pretty cool setting, I would definitely recommend checking this out. I don't know if this is streaming anywhere, but like I said, it is available on Amazon. The Blu-ray, I think, was on, the last time I checked the other day, it was like $13.99 on Amazon. It's definitely worth your time if you've never seen it. I would give Dark Knight of the Scarecrow a 9 out of 10. This is one of my favorite horror TV films. This is a really solid Halloween film that you can sit down and even watch with your kids probably. There's some dark themes in there, but it's bloodless and there's no cursing. It's a pretty straightforward horror film with some subtle things underneath. But yeah, a 9 out of 10 for Dark Knight of Scarecrow. If you've ever seen this film, leave a comment down below, let me know. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share this video, I would appreciate that. I will see you on Friday with Freddy vs. Jason as I continue my way through the Friday the 13th franchise, because after this one, we only got one more, the 2009 remake or reboot, as it were. But until then, I hope you're all doing well out there, and bye.